My name is David Gray-Hammond. I'm an autistic addiction and mental health advocate. My pronouns are he, him, and I am also Chief Operating Officer at NeuroClastic. I thrive when I have people around me who can support me, especially people who can understand my strengths and my struggles and support me in those without judgment. I've been particularly privileged in that I have a small group of friends and family who really do everything they can for me to support me. They don't expect anything of me. They just accept me for who I am, and I never have to meet anyone's expectations other than my own, which admittedly my own expectations, as I think with many of us, can be a little over the top sometimes, and sometimes we're hard on ourselves, but I thrive best when I have people who can support me through all that without passing judgment. My top tip for well-being is simple, really. Communication. I have a mantra. Open communication is key to recovery. When I was in active addiction, I did not communicate. I kept a lot of things to myself and I bottled them up. And much like a computer with a hard drive, I discovered very rapidly that I had finite space for bottling up these emotions, and the more I bottled them up, the more they would overflow and, quite frankly, explode in increasingly dramatic and sometimes life-threatening ways. It was only when I learned to stop hiding what was going on in my head and in my life and started communicating with the people around me, the professionals I was working with, that I was able to start finding recovery. And I now maintain my recovery from drug and alcohol addiction and psychosis by talking to people about how I'm feeling, explaining what it is I need in the moment. Sometimes I don't know what I need in the moment, and by communicating with others, they can help me identify what it is that I need for my own well-being. And for that reason, that is why I strongly feel that we need to be having a conversation about what is going on with each of us, with the people around us. Now, obviously, not everyone is as privileged as I am to have a good relationship with their family or to have a small group of close friends, but there are other options. You know, there are professionals that can be spoken to, people who are qualified to help us work through our mental health. Also, there are online groups that support each other. You know, there are several, especially autistic-led groups that support other autistics. And you know, sometimes when you need to communicate, you have to get resourceful and find someone who can communicate with you. Of course, sometimes we're not in the best place to find people who we can communicate with, and that's why it's important that we reach out to those around us for their well-being as well, because not everyone is going to feel ready to come forward and voice what's going on for them if they're in the midst of a mental health crisis. So, to bring it back to the point, that's my advice for well-being. My top tip is open communication. Never stop talking, never be ashamed. It's okay not to be okay, and please do let someone know if you need help. Thank you.